It's MistaJam with you, and right now on FaceTime in the studio, the man behind this week's epic Jam Hot record of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, and gentle them, it is Ewan McVicar!
How's it going, bud?
I'm really good, and I'm really excited to be talking to you.
Yes, mate, Andrew, I'm buzzing.
I mean, let's be honest. Tell Me Something Good is such a banger, and we've been on it for a while here at Capital Dance. I've got to tell you the story. So you'd put the record out on Trick, and obviously people were playing it in the clubs, and Coco Cole, who does the evening show here at Capital Dance, literally ran into the studio and said to me, "Why are you not playing Tell Me Something Good? Why do we not have this on the playlist?" 15 weeks later, we've been rinsing it ever since, and now look at it.
Yeah, sweet. That's mad. I met Coco, actually, it was my very first gig, solo gig, I think it was, at Night Tales in London, and Coco was there, and I met her, and then, yeah, that's how we kind of got talking, and then she was telling me about the record, and she was sharing it in her story, and then that must have been, like, shortly after she ran into the office.
She was like a woman on a warpath. If we don't playlist this record.
Unreal. That's brilliant, man.
But doing bits is an understatement for this tune. How are you feeling about the success?
Yeah, do you know, it's kind of weird, mate, because I've never made tunes to go in the charts or like to be. It is always I made tunes for me, and then if anyone else liked it, it was a bonus. And the story kind of behind Tell Me Something Good was released on Trick again. Street Rave, the first solo EP I put out, and it's first record. You get such a buzz off it. So I put Street Rave out, and it was the week after I'd had the Shaka Khan a cappella on my laptop for about 4 years, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to try some of this, because I'd made a few bits and they were terrible, and I didn't want anyone to hear them. But like, when you get that motivation going, I was like, right, I'm going to make some. It's going to be a banger. Let's just put it all in. And then in 45 minutes, I'd literally had like the ravey stabs and the bass line, and then the a cappella was sitting right. And then I just, see, because the a cappella is so powerful, I was like, I can't put too much in too soon. And that's why there's such a long gap until the hats come in. So, and then it was just meant to be an edit for my sets. And then Patrick got a hold of it and started playing it out. And the reaction off it was, I didn't expect it at all, because as a DJ, when you make edits, it's only for your set. So in your head, it's like, oh, this might take my set to another level. But then, like, I don't even know what is in the charts now. I can't keep up.
I mean, because let's be honest, for me, the very first time that I heard the record, I didn't know that it was you behind it, because I'd saw Patrick Topping playing it and putting it on his social media. And I'm never going to be one of those DJs that slides into someone's DMs and goes, can you send me that record? Just mainly because I can't deal with rejection, so I don't ask the question. But when I saw that he was putting it out, it's like, oh man, because I'm of a pedigree, I'm of an age that I can remember people going mad about a resurgence of the original version of the record.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm not that old to remember when it was originally released. That like predates me by about 20 years. But there was a mad resurgence of it in the noughties because it was used in a film. Is that where you heard it?
Yeah, so I was watching Happy Feet, and it was at the opening sequence of Happy Feet, and then I was just watching it, and then I just heard this, like, tell me something good, and then I was like, what is that, man? And then I just like went on YouTube, as everyone does, like a cappella, tell me something good, and then I found it was Shaka Khan, and then obviously Shaka Khan, I was like, oh, I'm never going to clear that. I just want it for my set. Like, let's just leave it. And then it literally just spiraled after Patrick was playing it. The feedback on it was, the hype was huge. And then you go into this thing like, is the hype too much? Like, is it going to? And then it's like completely, like, even when it hit like 1 million plays, for me, that had done everything I'd wanted it to do. And now I'm like, I don't even know what to say about it anymore, mate. I just keep going and going. And then I got videos from people in Australia the other day, Mexico, someone in Chicago, which I thought was really cool, took a video of it on the radio there, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I keep saying to myself, like, I have to take a step back. And then, do you know, mate, the reaction in my sets now has been unbelievable. Every time I play it, folk just go daft. Like, I could probably just... In fact, no, there's a story. I was playing in Edinburgh at the Liquid Rooms a few weeks ago, and you know what it's like when it hits the time to end and like one more tune, right? So you start playing one more tune and the sound guys just cut your audio. You're not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone just starts singing "Tell Me Something Good" like on their own, and I'm standing there like that. I'm like that to my mate behind me who's been there since day one. I'm like, mate, that's my tune they're singing that. Mental, man. Mental.
You cannot underestimate the power of this record, man.
Oh, man, I know, mate, I know. I don't even know how to act anymore. I'm just like folk are like, oh, how you feeling? How you doing with it? And I'm like, just loving it, man. Just enjoying it.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You've just got to enjoy it. You just have to. Now, a little birdie tells me that the reason why you're not with us in the studio is because you're working out the notice on the day job.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So all through lockdown, 2 years ago, I moved down to England in a place called Whitchurch to live with my family, because actually when I wrote Street Rave in Dorian, I was living out of my mate's spare room, like no finances. I was DJing in bars every weekend, just like I'd given up my uni course to pursue music, and I was like, you know what it's like, see if you get a job, you're like, oh, is that me giving up in music? Like, I don't know. So I was in this limbo, and I think every artist goes through that. Oh, do I want to do this? Is this going to happen? And then when the first week I moved down, Patrick, I got a WhatsApp for Patrick, and I'm in floods of tears, like, this could be it. And then he signed Street Rave, and I got a job to just kind of tide me over when Street Rave come out, and then COVID happened, so that put a stall in the the touring and stuff. So what I said to myself, it's either sink or swim. Like, just keep doing what I've been doing for the last 8 years, making music, and just hit it hard. And that's what I did over lockdown. And just now, as my last week at work, I went down to part-time a few weeks ago, 3 days a week, and Thursday it's my last day. And yeah, mate, I couldn't be, like, I'm living my dream. It's crazy, man.
That is amazing. It's such an amazing story, and it's, to be honest, it's a story that a lot of musicians will tell. I don't understand why we don't embrace the day job. The day job is important.
And you know, mate, that's one thing that has helped me so much, is like, see, having that financial security. And in my head, like, you don't need to give up in music. I wasn't giving up in music. I was down at, I don't know if you heard of Devon Analog Studio down south. So I was with Tristan and the guy that runs it, and he said, your 9 to 5 is paying for your 7 to 1 in the studio. And that for me was like the biggest mind reset. I was like, that is so spot on, because I was working 9 till 6 when I was full time, coming straight in, making tunes till about 1 a.m, straight back to it, and then it would just rinse and repeat, and he likes paid off, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable, man. What a feeling.
Do your workmates know about this tune? Do they know that you are the Ewan McVicar that's being played on the radio?
Yeah, because they've kind of, because it's been 2 years, they've seen the full like come up as well, and they've seen when Street Rave came out, they were buzzing. But then my workmates as well, obviously you get such a mix of people. So I've got like ravers who used to do it back in the 90s, and they are like so into what I'm doing, because that's what I'm into, all that, the old school tunes as well. So they're dead behind me. But then you've got Tell Me Something Good hitting all these different audiences, and then all these people that wouldn't even listen. Like, the amount of messages I've had, like, oh, I don't listen to dance music anymore, I don't go to nightclubs, but I'm coming to see you, or I'm coming to hear Tell Me Something Good. That's like, it's this like cross, and like all these coming over to me and work, and they're like, oh, I love Tell Me Something Good, what are you going to do next? And it's such a buzz, mate. It's such a buzz, man.
So tell me about tomorrow. Tell me about the leaving drinks tomorrow. What have you got planned?
So it's on Thursday night, right? So basically, I work in a warehouse, right? But because I've been there so long, I've switched a few jobs. So I was in the office at first, and then I went out to the warehouse, and there's like 500 employees. So because of like kind of like the way I'm like a people person, I talk to everyone. So usually like it's either like the office or some in the warehouse, but I've went round the warehouse and told them I'm leaving, and they're all buzzing. Then because I know the office people, they're all coming. So, mate, it might end up busier than some of the nightclubs I'm playing, man. I don't know. We're going to a local pub. The pub only know it's hit it on a Thursday night. You know what I mean?
Just you wait until someone puts "Tell Me Something Good" on the jukebox. Oh my God, it's gonna go off! It's gonna go off! Well, that is going to be a huge day. Do you know what? We know that you are a chart-topping DJ, but something I found out recently is that you're officially Mr. McVicar. You were doing a teaching degree.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, oh Christ, yeah. Like, so, and I'd always wanted to be a teacher. You know, like when I was younger, I came from like. I went to like a more affluent school, but I was from like a scheme. I was from like a rough area. My mum used to walk me and my brothers to this school like a few miles away. She's an absolute trooper, like done so much for us. And seeing that kind of way of life, but being from a rougher kind of area in Scotland, it made me want more, and kind of it was been a lot of my drive as well. And yeah, I'd always wanted to be on the other side, because the way I felt personally, seeing all these kids who like they never had everything given to them, but they had more than me, and you could sense that. So I always wanted to be the teacher and see how it felt as well, to give everyone a chance. And I was at university from 17 to 22, and I was PRing for the club in Ayr when I was 17 to 18, and then off the contacts from that, I was standing one night and it was lashing down with rain, man, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like and I'd always kind of loved music back in the LimeWire days. I was always Bluetoothing tunes that no one ever had like before. So I was just. So
you were the tune supplier of your year at school.
I had hunters, like loads of unreleased Kanye West, DJ Felly Fell, like loads of stuff, man. And I was like, here, wait to hear this tune. It's out in America, but it's not here yet. So I was always like had a passion for it, but never thought like I could ever do it myself until. The DJ of the club I PR'd for, I was like, oh, like, how do you do this? And he gave me a mixer. It was like a Hercules mixer, tiny little metal thing. And I just put the ironing board out, PC speakers on, and just YouTubed how to mix. And and then it just kept going, and I ended up running my own night. So I finished uni at 22, got my degree, and I was phoning my mum, and I was like, Mum, I don't want to do teaching anymore. And she's like, what? Threw the absolute kitchen sink at me, mate. Like, she was mental. And then, but now she's my biggest fan. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it has a funny way of doing that, doesn't
it? Yeah. And then, she just, she's been unreal, to be fair, my mum. And once she got over, like, how driven I was and how ambitious I was to make this work, I get screenshots every day of where it is in Shazam and where it is in the chart. Like, she looks at it more than I do. Like, I just kind of just let it happen. But she's like, oh, did you see you're above X? You're above so and so now. And she's like, that's my child. That's my child. It's amazing, man. So yeah, mate, I gave up the teaching for music, and I've always kind of thought like I'd love to go back there and maybe do something with both passions, and maybe like set up a Ewan McVicar school for music in my hometown, with combining both like teaching and music, and really bring out the folk from my hometown, because it's not a lot goes on in these towns anymore, man. So it's I would love to do something like that, but yeah, teaching's behind me now, mate.
Do you know what? I've got a feeling that is something that you are going to end up doing if you've got a passion for it, and you've got the degree already. Like, it's just. Listen, if we can help, you know where we are, right?
Yes, mate. Yeah, that'd be meant.
We've got to talk about Patrick, because we keep on just dropping his name quite casually in conversation. Patrick Topping. He's been a massive part of your journey so far. How does it feel kind of coming up under the wing of a real dance music legend like Patrick?
Insane. Do you know, insane. And I've got so... I played at Trick Cardiff for him. It was the first one I've played, and I said to him, like, even before it, I was like, I'm never, ever, ever going to let you forget what you've done for me, mate, because he believes in me so much, and I've always felt that for him, and the care and the passion he has for what we're doing together with Trick as well. And the first time I met him, so I told you about the WhatsApp, and I was crying and he's WhatsApping me. So I was going to Creamfields 2019, just camping with my mates. I was just going and started kind of talking to Patrick and his tour manager, Morgan Bennett. And Morgan and Patrick were they're in the gym somewhere on tour, and I was sending them loads of records, and they're like sending me videos in the gym, like, woo! And then I sent them Street Rave, and Patrick started playing it out in like DC10 and Ibiza and stuff. So I knew he was playing it a lot. So I was like, right, I'll come over. I was like, there might be a viral video moment here because I will be in floods of tears if you play Street Rave, right? Because I'm just an emotional guy. It's just what I'm like. Right? So I went up to the fence, and Morgan was like, yeah, come over. So we jumped the fence, and Patrick walks over to me, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, what am I going to do here? So I'm like, oh, how's it going, mate? How's it going? And he's like, pure chill. He's like, buzzing, you're part of the label, love your music, can't wait to hear more and all that. I'm really excited for the future. And I said to him, thank you, obviously. And do you think you're going to play Street Rave? And he was like, oh, I'm not too sure. Don't know if it'll go with what I set I've got planned. And then he went and opened his set with Street Rave. And that was like, I was like, oh my God, like burst into tears after I got off the stage. Like I went for it on the stage, got off the stage, burst into tears because that was the 8 years graft to that point, mate. That was when it was dreams into reality, and everything I'd worked for was just paid off at that moment. And then someone came over to me, and you know what it's like in backstage at these places, right? And some folk just like, la-di-da, whatever. And the guy comes over to me and he's like, someone died, mate, are you okay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it's all right, I just thought someone had died. You seem quite upset. And I was like, no, I just played my tune. Like, I'm going mental. It's happy tears, man.
I love that. What a story. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Unreal. That'll live with me forever, man. There's so many good videos of it as well. It's unreal.
When you were younger, did you ever play Top Trumps or collect those football stickers?
Yeah. I used to have the wee Panini, like SPL stickers and like the Euros, like, although Scotland were never in them when I was younger. And
There's a lot of Scottish people that work here at Capital Dance, so we'll just leave that comment where it was.
Yeah.
But what we try and do, I mean, it's legally nothing like Panini football stickers. We've got our own Capital Dance DJ stickers.
Ah, man.
So we've had Jax Jones, we've had Jodie Harsh, we've had Reton, Paul Woolford. Basically, I'm going to ask you to critique your skills as a DJ and producer out of 100, and we'd love to create a sticker for you if you're up for it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. Songwriting skills. What would you score yourself out of 100?
I need to be modest here, don't I?
No, you need to be honest.
Yeah, modest and honest here. Room for improvement, I think. I think I give myself about 75.
75. Very respectable score. I think Paul Woolford gave himself 200 out of 100.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be fair.
Same, exactly the same. Out of everybody in the dance music world, Wooly can say what he wants.
No argument here.
Not at all. Instrument skills. What can you play?
Zero. Nothing. Don't play any instruments at all, mate. Just all in the box.
Piano roll, type it in.
Yeah, dot to dot. That's me.
Love it. 0. Mixing skills out of 100. From that Hercules DJ controller on your ironing board to now, what would you give yourself out of 100?
Yeah, do you know, I'd say about the same, but 75, I'd say. Still room for improvement. I'm always wanting to improve, just looking to improve, mate. So yeah, 75.
Love that.
I'll be nice.
Crowd hyping skills. When you're behind the decks, how hyped do the crowd get?
I'd give myself an 85 for that one, to be fair.
Here we! Let's not finish that because you quite like our jobs. What's your dancing ability like, Ewan?
Oh, I rate myself as a dancer, by the way, but I don't know if everyone else would. I'm going to give myself... Am I rating that as well?
Yes, please.
That on the card? I'll give myself an... do you know, it's like in your DNA to be Scottish to not big yourself up, do you know that way? So if you go too far, Scots will just slate you. You said you were a 90, mate, at dancing. No. I'm gonna go an 80 for dancing, to be
80,
fair.
Fair enough. And what about your outfit style? What would you rate yourself out of 100?
90. I'll give myself a 90 for my dress, to be fair.
Yes.
I like my clothes.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Right, hang around because I feel that we really need to get to know you. Now that we've got the DJ sticker sorted, we've got a quick fire round, Ewan McVicar.
Oh, here we go.
Ewan, you're at the start of what I believe is going to be the most exciting career. For the people listening right now who know your tunes but aren't a full Ewan McVicar fan yet, I've got some quick fire questions just so we can get to know you a little bit better. I don't need to take any length of time to think of your answer. I just want you to say the answer that comes to your head. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready for these quickest of quick fire questions?
I'm ready. Geese them.
Right. Iron Brew or Lucozade?
Iron Brew.
First album ever bought?
Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory. Nice. Best tune that you've ever dropped in a club?
Granary 12, Mank Mania.
Nice. Your least favourite football team?
Greenock Morton.
The UK city that you've never been to?
Stirling.
The most expensive item that you've ever bought?
£500 sub.
Your takeaway order after a night out?
Doner kebab.
Name of your first pet?
Dog.
Name of your first dog was called Dog.
my wee dog Gus.
Gus, what's a name for a dog?
He was a legend, mate.
Wow, that was amazing. Right, single or taken? That one's from producer Lydia.
Single.
There you go, Lids. Haggis or neeps and tatties?
Haggis.
Tell me something good that happened to you today.
I got one day closer to finishing my job.
Hey, that is all the questions done.
Yes, mate.
Mate, you are a proper legend. We really love your production. We really love your music. We really love Tell Me Something Good, but I've got a feeling that isn't the last record that is going to be going big for you, man.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I've got tons more.
Will you enjoy your last day at the day job tomorrow?
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ewan McVicar!